Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Heel Turn, the number one podcast for everything WWE. Welcome back to episode number 8. Fraser, how are you today?
I'm very good, mate. How are you?
I'm going all right. How'd you feel about this week in the world of WWE? Because it was interesting because I feel like Saturday night's main event is sort of that one where, you know, we don't really pay much attention to it because nothing really happens. But to be honest, this one was actually pretty good.
Yeah, actually, I think... Well, how many Saturday night's main events have there been? About 3 now since it's come back as a concept. I think this one's definitely been like the best out of the 3. I'd definitely say.
So much happened that it's almost made me think now that you sort of have to watch Saturday night's main event because we had so many different things happen. But the first one we're going to get to that happened on Saturday night's main event was the return of Australia's own
Big Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed joins Seth Rollins' faction. And I think in episode 4, I called it that Bronson could potentially join this faction. And then a few weeks ago on Fraser's 5, I think you had Bronson...
I think I did.
...in there as well. So, exactly. Get us in the writing room as well.
I know. Triple H. Hire us right now, bro.
I was so pleased that Bronson finally returned. Because, again, we didn't have a return date. But I'm so glad that he's joined this faction because he's that superstar that definitely needs that elevation, and he was going to get it too. Like when he joined the new bloodline, and then sadly went down with that injury. So, but no, I was very happy with Bronson Reed. What did you think about it?
Well, I think his return was actually very good. I think that's something that WWE does very well is like returns after someone gets injured. Like, because I feel like sometimes, I don't know if they do this or not, but they give them like they give the fans very long sort of time schedule before they're meant to come back that they might say, I don't know, like 9 months or something.
They don't hint anything at all. Like they won't.
Yeah. Well, they say that they could have come back in like 9 months and then maybe 6 months later they might come back, for instance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for that Ilya Dragunov return, but that's neither here nor there. But no, the way they did it with Bronson was pretty good, I think.
Yeah,
you know?
Slamming CM Punk into the barricade. But this is huge because I can just imagine right now the destruction that Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker could do as a tag team together. Yeah. Like, they could, I'm calling it. They're going to be tag team champions.
Yeah, I reckon
they will.
Yeah. Because, I mean... Think about the other teams on the Raw roster as well, like Viking Raid or War Raiders, should I say?
American Made, The New Day, sort of A-Town Down Under.
Yeah, but they're probably gonna break up soon. I hope.
Alpha Academy kind of as well. They're just not as competitive right now.
Oh, yeah.
But do you think Theory got robbed? Our man.
Yeah, Theory. He definitely did get robbed. I mean, I was plastering it all over Twitter.
Yeah,
we got robbed.
We actually got a few hate replies on Twitter for Theory.
Like, yeah, I know. I mean, completely unwarranted, may I add. What I was posting was all in fun, you know, all fun and games. It was all just a laugh, but people took it the wrong way.
We got this one hater who's just slammed. The slander on Theory was crazy.
Yeah, I know.
No, that's a future world champion there.
I know, and he got what was coming to him. Gave him the ratio, everything. So it's fine.
Theory alongside Braun and Seth and Paul Heyman would have been great. But then again, like, you know, Bronson's Australian.
Yeah, I know. We got to rep. We got to rep
Bronson here.
Australian. Yeah.
Because like it just looks so cool. Like on Monday Night Raw, it just looks so cool. Rollins entering with.
It was a cool visual,
and Bronson Reed just by his side.
Well, Braun doesn't really look proper in a suit, though, in like an all-black suit with the sunnies and all that. Did you see that?
It's
like people were memeing the...
It's a new, you know, elevated improvement for him joining Seth as well. So I guess he sort of has to get used to that. But Bronson Reed, I think in the long run, it's going to be the right choice, especially for this faction. So I'm very pleased with Bronson.
Definitely, yeah.
This one was interesting because I don't know if this was the Travis Scott match that everyone was sort of expecting.
Yeah.
With John Cena. Because there was rumored that Travis Scott was going to tag with John Cena.
Yeah.
Eventually, but it's
not
Logan Paul.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Travis Scott could be added later, but I don't know.
And be a triple threat. Yeah. I'm
not
not sure.
Or not. a 6-man tag team. You know, what I mean, there's 3 on each side because it could be Jimmy and Jay, and Cody, and then John and Logan and Travis.
they've still got time as well.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I think if Travis was to wrestle, he wouldn't be on the same caliber as as Logan or Bad Bunny or something like that. Because, I mean, you've seen things of like pictures of Travis. He's a very skinny guy. Like, it's not like he's going to be out there like running the ropes and doing like high flying moves like Logan or anything like that.
I will say one thing Travis Scott does way better than what John Cena does. Is selling the crossroads. John Cena is terrible at selling the crossroads. Yeah. In the whole lead up to WrestleMania and even on Saturday night's main event, it just didn't look great.
No,
if I'm being honest. But I know there was I saw quite a few videos online. People like when John Cena came out. I actually thought John Cena would come out during that Jey Uso Logan Paul match because of the segment that happened like before, like backstage when John Cena was seen with Jey Uso when he said Logan Paul winning could ruin wrestling. So I'm like, okay, John Cena, he's going to be somewhere involved in this now. Yeah. He'll insert himself. But I saw a few things online where when it happened and people were watching it and everyone was like, where's Cody? Where's Cody? If I'm being completely honest, I did not expect Cody to come out. I was watching it and I was like, holy crap.
Well, I actually did expect Cody to come out, but I thought it was going to be earlier. I thought it was going to be during John and R-Truth's match actually.
Yeah,
he was going to come out. When John Cena was walking up the ramp. It was before commercial break, which were so many at SNME as well. Which kind of, it was it made it a little bit worse. But either way, John Cena, he was walking up the ramp and he did his title thing. And I thought just as he was about to go through the Titantron, whenever the entrance thing, he was gonna Cody was gonna come out and then they were gonna do like a face off or something.
Yeah.
But I think I actually prefer the way that the WWE did it.
Yeah.
In the end with Jay and all that.
Yeah, I don't mind this matchup. I think it's a good one for Cody's return because I still think he's still got unsettled business to take care of with John Cena.
Yeah.
So I like this match. We'll get into our official predictions next week, the week before Money in the Bank. But another match that took place at Saturday night's main event was Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest.
Damo.
In a steel cage.
Yeah.
Damo got the win. I thought Drew was going to get the win again, but I probably should have seen this coming from Damo, if I'm being completely honest. But there was a bit of controversy as how Priest won the match.
Yeah, Jesse Ventura on the mic.
Yeah.
For commentary, yeah.
I like Priest, obviously, whacking McIntyre with the chair on his head. Was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, the concerto, I think it's what it's called officially, but yeah.
And then Priest walks out of the cage. Yes. What did you think about this?
Well, I didn't really see a problem with it. I think people have been walking out of the cage for a long time now. I think the reason why Jesse Ventura had a problem with it is because he is is obviously from way back when I think you can only climb out to win. So obviously. I think Jesse Ventura on commentary I think he just needs to be taught a bit more about how commentary works, because even as they were announcing, I think it was when they were doing I forgot what they were doing exactly, but Jesse Ventura was like talking over, I think it was like Alicia Taylor or something.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah. He was talking over her and all that, and I think he just needs to be told like the cues and when to stop talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, even Michael Cole and Pat McAfee were trying to dissect the match right after it happened when Priest walked out and stuff. Michael Cole's like, "You can do that, Jesse. It's part of the rules or something."
Yeah.
And I just hear his voice in the background every second.
It's not fair.
It's not fair.
He walked out of the cage. What is he doing?
That was a good impression.
Yeah.
All
love the Jesse Ventura, by the way.
Yeah. Is Damian Priest sort of sending a message to us of just walking out of the cage? Is it a potential heel turn for Damian Priest down the line?
Probably not. Because Drew's the heel in this situation.
I know, but Damian Priest just walking out of the cage.
I think
it's not how I expect.
Well, I think it's just another thing of Damian Priest being a bit overbooked, I think.
You've said that before, haven't you?
Yeah. Being, booked as like a Superman and always winning and, all that sort of stuff. I mean, I wouldn't I don't really mind that Damo won, just because like this feud isn't anything like too spectacular. You know what I mean? It's not like like a Roman or Cody feud or something like that. But I think it's just another sign of just Damo being overbooked again. But I think Drew. I've heard online that Drew's now going into like a permanent.
He's gonna have some time off,
which is fair because was it
the amount of stuff he's gone through lately?
When was it when he got put through the table on the outside of the ring? I forgot when it was now. Was it just on like Raw or SmackDown? Or am I?
Which match?
It could have been against Damo actually.
Oh, it was one of those.
A Backlash must have been where
Priest South heavened him onto the table. No.
Yeah, on the outside of the ring. Apparently, he smacked the back of his head on the ground.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
it was a Backlash. It was the Jacob.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that one. And Drew apparently smacked the back of his head on the ground and like he couldn't move his neck all the way. So I think it's a very well-deserved break that he's going to get.
Yeah, Drew, like over the past year, I'd say, Drew's been in some pretty unbelievable matches. Obviously, the most amazing was, the Hell in a Cell match with CM Punk. But he's been involved in a lot of like gruesome and really high caliber matches Drew is 100% like needed for this business because he's an unbelievable, talent. He's
very funny.
He's a funny on the mic as well. But he's just a good wrestler. Like if you want to put it as simple as that, he's just a really good wrestler, and he deserves whatever break is coming forward for him.
Please come on the podcast during your break.
Imagine Drew on the podcast. WWE have screwed me.
Yeah.
It'd be unbelievable.
Yeah. Mate, that would shoot our viewer numbers, subscriber numbers right up. So Drew, I know you're watching. Please come on the come on the podcast.
Drew could be on here.
Yes.
And just be like,
bored on podcast.
Bored on podcast.
bored at the podcast. LOL. Yeah.
That'd be so good.
Yeah.
Zelina Vega and Chelsea Green.
Yes.
We won't go too deep into this one because wasn't that great.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think Chelsea was going to win back a title, to be honest. Well, depends what I said last week. I would have liked...
As the match went on, I had a feeling it could have happened.
Yeah, well, I would have liked Chelsea to win it back, but I wasn't expecting it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, she started bleeding too. She might
because of the botch 619 from Zelina.
Yeah.
And then, so
the commentators are really good at clearing that stuff up. Whenever
she didn't get all of it.
Oh no! Oh, she didn't get all of it, but she did enough damage.
Yeah. Well,
that's what always happens.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
What happened was so she went on the thing and then she got caught up in the rope and then ended up kneeing Chelsea in the nose or whatever. Started bleeding.
Yeah.
It was a cool visual. I think that kind of maybe brought the match back a little bit.
Yeah.
But well, that's the thing about Zelina. She's very short. She's not even 5 foot, or maybe 5 foot something. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's very hard for wrestlers to perform moves,
that.
Yeah.
619.
It's kind of like with Roxanne Perez as well, with the pop rocks. I see a lot of wrestlers sometimes struggling to pull that off as well, just because either just because it's a confusing move or it's because of Roxanne's size. She's not very big either. You see, I think that's a bit of a problem when it comes to sort of shorter wrestlers. But either way, I think the botch and the knee to Chelsea's nose, as bad as it was, I think it sort of brought back the match.
Yeah,
and it had a good. Chelsea paid for a good visual.
Chelsea's really good at telling the story, and she's a good actor.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So she's needed, whether she's champion or not. She does get TV time, but she needs to stay.
I honestly think they should move her up.
She needs to stay on TV. I
honestly think they should move her up a little bit as well. Maybe give her.
Yeah.
Because she's still got Piper Niven and Alba Fire.
A match with Tiffany Stratton for the championship or something.
Yeah,
potentially.
Something like that. She doesn't have to win.
Yeah.
Just give her the opportunity as well. Maybe this faction that she's in with Piper and Alba could become I hope it doesn't, but something kind of related to the Pure Fusion Collective with Zoe, Sonia, and who was the other one? Shayna, the No Aura Collective.
Yeah.
So, but either way, I think they should push Chelsea after this, at least just a little bit. Maybe give her a spur of the moment title match against Tiffany or something.
Agreed.
That'd be good.
Yep. Well, LA Knight, he qualified for his third Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah.
And Seth as well. We will get to Seth in a minute.
And Penta, didn't he? Yeah, and Penta.
Enter qualified for his first. So.
Well, yeah.
Yes, but
Either way, yes.
we'll go through them all.
We'll
go to Lanite.
Yeah, Lanite.
Lanite first.
Yeah.
The guy whose merch you wear regularly.
Yes.
But LA Knight, he defeated Shinsuke Nakamura and Aleister Black. Aleister Black, he looked like he was going to win the match.
Yeah.
And then LA Knight interferes and throws him out of the ring and gets the win. So LA Knight is off to his third Money in the Bank.
I think this is the one where he's most likely to win so far out of everyone in there. Yeah. Obviously, third time's the charm. I hope he does win out of everyone on there. Oh, I'm thinking maybe I kind of want Solo to win as well. But
yeah,
I think, as I said, LA Knight's probably most likely out of the four so far.
Yeah. Penta also qualified. He beat Chad Gable and Dragon Lee. This match was actually pretty good.
Yeah. I really did like that match, actually. It was actually one of the matches where I wasn't just like scrolling on my phone and like looking up at the TV while it was going. I was watching the whole time.
Penta's been a really good recruit.
I think this match also just shows that Dragon Lee should be on TV more. Like the moves that he does and stuff that he pulls off is so good. Like his power bomb, his power bomb finishing move. Even diving out of the ring onto Penta on the table.
Yeah.
I think Pat McAfee actually said, "Holy SHIT" when that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think I said it last week. I predicted Penta to be in this match. I can see him doing some amazing spots in this match as well.
Definitely.
We also had Seth Rollins, who qualified against Sami Zayn and Finn Balor. There was a period there where I thought Finn Balor was going to be the one.
I thought Fergal was going to do it. Because I think Fergal honestly deserves it. Yeah, so I'm calling him Fergal as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he deserves it though.
Because you saw this beef that was going on between Rollins and Sami Zayn. Yeah. And I was like, oh, Finn could be the one to actually benefit from this here.
Yeah, maybe just snatch the win, you know.
Snatch the win.
I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff online, people, because Finn Balor loses so much, right? People are calling him Pin Balor.
Yeah.
Finn Balor. But I've also seen that people are like, oh, he shouldn't complain because he's getting paid like $7 million a year. He's like one of the highest paid wrestlers on the roster. So
we will get to Finn Balor a bit later on.
Yeah.
In the show as well.
I think Seth Rollins, because he's now got obviously Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker on his side.
It's interesting.
It was bound to happen.
It's interesting for this one in this match. See, it'll be interesting to what I say next week for my final prediction.
Yeah.
At this rate, I don't see Seth winning it. I think it could be, as you said, LA Knight or Solo. Because I can imagine something happening where Seth goes up the ladder, reaches for the briefcase or whatever, and maybe like CM Punk interferes and
it could even be something
pushes Rollins off the ladder or something.
It could even be something as simple as Adam Pearce just saying they're banned from ringside or something. You know what I mean?
Or even, look, it's a long one here that I'm going for, but I would love for Seth Rollins to be going up the ladder, reaching for the briefcase, and all of a sudden, Roman Reigns comes out and returns and pushes Roman off the ladder.
Pushes Seth off the ladder.
Pushes Seth off the ladder or something. Like imagine the pop Roman Reigns returning in that match and costing Rollins again. It'd be unbelievable. Even
in the unlikely chance that Seth does win the briefcase, I think he'll still do pretty good with it because back in the day when he won it, like 2014 or whatever, him as Mr. Money in the Bank was really good. I know you probably weren't watching back then.
And his cash-in was
probably
the greatest of all
31.
time.
Yeah, the highest of the century, was it WrestleMania 31 main event, Brock and Roman, and he came in at the last minute. But I think still the whole thing with the briefcase, even with Dean Ambrose coming in and stealing it and then putting all his crap in it. But yeah, I think maybe Bronson and Bron could even play like that sort of J&J security role. I know you probably don't know who they are, but J&J security were like these two people that followed Seth Rollins around, like his two bodyguards or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they could, even like what they're wearing, they could even play that sort of role again.
Yeah.
But I mean, even thinking back to that time, it was such a good time, like for the whole Money in the Bank, like Brock Lesnar destroying J&J Security's car. But I mean, I am probably rambling at the moment, but I still think Seth Rollins would do a good
Yeah.
service if he won.
As it
but
stands right now,
I wouldn't want him to win.
Yeah, as it stands right now, I'm happy with the contestants right now.
Yeah.
In the Money in the Bank match, because there's potential there for someone to really, like, obviously Seth doesn't need that much elevation anymore, but there's potential there for those three men, LA Knight, Solo, and Penta, to really, propel themselves in the business as well.
Yeah.
Well, next one we're going to move on to SmackDown, and the big one. Oh no, the women's matches.
I can't believe, man, you forgot.
Oh,
Man,
I forgot. To be fair, I forgot to add it to my run sheet here. But this week we had Julia. Julia qualified for the match. She would face Charlotte and Zelina as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty happy for Julia here, because obviously it was a debut match on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Qualifying over, I'd pick Julia to win this, because I don't think Charlotte needed this.
No.
Zelina's already champion.
Yeah.
And she had the match with Chelsea the day after.
Yeah.
So it's main event. So Julia was really the only obvious answer.
The only thing I'll criticize about the match is, have you seen it where Julia has Charlotte on the ground?
Something was on our you responded on our Twitter with something as well.
Where Julia did like this move that's meant to like look like it's like hurting Charlotte's neck, and Charlotte didn't sell it at all.
Really bad.
Or she didn't sell it at all, really, and the crowd was so silent. I think I put like, is the crowd even in the arena or something? Yeah. Yeah, that's the only thing I'll criticize about the match, but I think Julia should have.
Yeah.
I think she's the most
reasonable.
This
is another one who could potentially win this one as well, and it'll be interesting because her and Roxanne were obviously tagging together on Raw.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, and now they obviously moved to different brands, so they'll meet again, which will be interesting as well. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with Julia that she's qualified for this one, because I don't think Charlotte in a Money in the Bank ladder match, I just don't think.
No, I think they would. Well. I mean, I think people would just continue to criticize her, saying that she's getting spots that she doesn't deserve.
A bit like Alexa, she wouldn't be able to take those big, slams through the table or off the ladder or something like that.
Well, Charlotte hasn't been known to do spots like that, like back at like WrestleMania 32, I think it was.
But see, the thing with she's literally like, she's come back off an ACL. You know what I mean? So I don't think she'd want to, jump
injuring that.
Jump 8 feet, 9 feet off a
ladder
or something like that.
Yeah.
So I and like potentially break a leg or something like that, even more. So I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
And that was a decade ago, WrestleMania 32. Like next year was a decade ago. So
yeah, let's be real, man. Come on.
Yeah, keep it $1.50. All right.
Yeah. Now we get to SmackDown, and the big one. We had the Wyatt Sicks return. No, yes. I did not see this coming. Although it was it was hinted they were going to come back eventually.
Well, yeah, definitely. It would have been likely to come back on SmackDown, just because I think that same day it was SmackDown. It was also Bray Wyatt's birthday. Rest in peace.
That was a nice tribute.
Yeah, because I've got the birthday cake. You can kind of see it on the photo, right? He got the candle, and at the end he blew out the candle or whatever. So that was a good tribute to Bray.
Yeah.
But I just hope WWE actually does something with this faction,
Because weren't they on Raw last year?
Yeah, their first run doing with Chad Gable was like, I don't know, it was okay. It wasn't anything to write home about, but I mean, all the people in the faction are very talented. We got Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan, was it Dexter Lumis, and Nikki Cross. And yeah, I mean, all of them are very talented wrestlers. You can obviously tell by their movesets and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. They interfered during
Street Profits and
Fraxion.
Yes.
So yeah, interesting. It sort of adds another element of interest to the tag division on SmackDown.
Maybe even if Alexa Bliss, well, I think she'll probably lose the Money in the Bank. I reckon she might join this faction.
That was a question I was going to bring up. Alexa Bliss, I see her joining back with the Wyatt Sicks. Eventually as well.
I think it's most things in wrestling. You just have to wait and see what they do with it.
Exactly. Eventually. But I thought it was the perfect way to close the show. As well. Have the Wyatt Sicks.
Because the crowd still misses Bray as well. So anything that has to do with him, they'll support it. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Moving on.
Nia Jax versus Naomi and Jade Cargill this week for the Money in the Bank qualifier.
Yes.
This one will be a really good one. It's almost as if they all deserve to be in the match.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
I mean, I
don't know who
think
to rule out.
my most likely would probably be Naomi, just because I think I mean, that's the one I've been seeing online as well, that she's probably going to be the most likely one to get in there. Because as well, Jade Cargill, she's already like she hasn't even won like a world title or anything like that, and she's already like a pretty solid figure on the roster.
Yeah.
Same with Nia. I mean, Nia, obviously, through her title run and all that sort of stuff, she's just returned.
Yeah.
I think she doesn't need it as much as Naomi, who's just, obviously, she's just turned heel. She just needs that one big push to sort of elevate her a bit more.
A great heel move during this match I can see would be like, Jade Cargill, having the opportunity to, or Nia Jax having the opportunity to beat, Jade Cargill, and then Naomi, like a bit like what LA Knight did with Aleister Black. Naomi quickly, moving him out of the ring and then stealing the win. I can see her, doing a really sneaky
we definitely
move
can't
here.
see anything to do with Candice LeRae either, because she's back with DIY now.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's completely written off.
Yeah,
but
it's an interesting one. I don't really have a winner for this match yet, but
I'd say Naomi.
Yeah, if you're going to talk about it, more sort of that elevation of that new sort of character of Naomi, this would be a really good opportunity.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I can see that.
Definitely.
Well, this next one, I think we pretty much know who's going to win this. Probably Jacob Fatu, now that Solo is in the match.
Yeah, I reckon it'd probably just cause more division in the bloodline, I'd say.
And also, Andrade and Carmelo Hayes have had a lot of history, especially in the last year.
They're also another two wrestlers that need to be pushed as well. They need to be put more into the,
It could go either way, but I think Jacob Fatu will still be in this match with Solo Sikoa.
Yeah.
But I don't think Jacob will win, though.
Crazy prediction I'm thinking of, I just thought of right now. I was thinking maybe Jacob could get in. He's on the ladder, about to grab the briefcase.
Yeah.
And then maybe someone else comes up. And then maybe like Tongaloa or Tamatonga, like the Tongans, come in and like, topple over the ladder, something like that.
And cost Jacob the match or something.
Something like, it's meant to look like an accident, but
yeah.
like maybe Jacob lands on his feet and he's like, what the hell are you doing,
Yeah.
Something like that.
Let's not get it twisted. Let's keep it 100.
Yeah, exactly. All gas, no brakes.
I love that.
But yeah, I reckon, I just thought of that right now, but something like that could even happen.
Yeah.
Well,
it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I still think, Jacob's probably the most likely, just because of the storyline with the bloodline. Carmelo and Andrade, though, need to get a big push, like, somehow. Like
Andrade's an interesting one because, hasn't been on TV a lot this year.
No. Well, we know that he's got potential because of, obviously, him and Carmelo's, feud.
And he was in the Money in the Bank ladder match last year as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Interesting one for Andrade and Carmelo, but I think you can back in Jacob here.
Definitely.
Pretty confidently.
Yeah.
Well, this last segment with Dirty Dom, we spoke a lot about it last week, but it got even better on Raw yesterday.
Yes.
Or the day before, when Roxanne offered some more chicken nuggets to Dominic.
Yeah, the nuggets, bro.
And then Liv returns.
Yes.
This one was huge. I mean, like you said last week, Liv was done filming. And I think on her Instagram, she was, back at the farm, so she's obviously returned.
Back at the farm, yep.
Back at the farm. So sort of knew that she'd return this week, but catching Dom, in the act, like
eating another woman's nuggets.
I know.
From Carlito, even Carlito said that. You gotta stop trying her nuggets.
I know.
You gotta stop trying her nuggets. Yeah.
I just felt bad for Dom in the situation because he hasn't done anything wrong. You know what I mean?
No, I mean you can obviously tell it's Roxanne putting herself onto him. Asking if his shoulder's okay. Kind of reminds me of that Liv Morgan one where he was in the back asking if he was like leg or whatever. Stretching his leg.
Stretching his leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's giving. Yeah, Roxanne is giving all those Liv vibes from last year. Only the big question is.
Well, we can obviously tell that it's Finn Balor behind this, trying to screw over Dom.
Yeah.
If you saw his reaction in the backstage, like he was smiling. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then Liv had a match as well, and Roxanne actually helped her, but Liv got upset at Raquel, saying that she was the better in and that she should have known better. So
exactly.
obviously this is all part of Finn's plan.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he's being mysterious about this. Obviously,
Being mysterious with Mysterio. Can you believe it?
I can't believe that.
Yes.
Yeah, but nah, Dirty Dom. Like the only thing is, will he kiss Roxanne at SummerSlam? That
Imagine
that would be huge. Like I don't know, if they
That's
could
when the Triple
somehow
Crown
get,
champion can be crowned officially.
I
That's
know.
when Dom can get his Hall of Fame spot in the Baddies Hall of Fame.
He's a 20-year vet, Dom. Like
20-year vet, and it only took him a couple years to get 3 baddies in a row.
I know.
I think it can happen.
I know.
But I don't know.
Like you said, criminal eating another woman's chicken nuggets.
I know.
Crazy, man.
Yeah. Carlio is definitely on the ball. Definitely on the ball. You cannot be trying another woman's nugs.
Yeah, I know. And JD's sort of just standing there and not really doing anything.
Yeah. Well, he's obviously on Finn Balor's side.
Yeah,
you know.
he'll have to be on Finn Balor's side here as well. Yeah.
Moving on
to
Fraser's 5.
Fraser's 5.
Can you believe it?
Another edition of Fraser's 5.
Yes, sir.
What have you got for us?
I have got. This one's going to be a bit of a short one, but I've got top 5 next NXT call-ups. Pardon me. Obviously, there's been a lot going on in NXT. NXT Battleground was on the weekend. Great match with Soul Ruka. The Soul Snatcher. Can I just say, Soul Snatcher is such a good finishing move, especially when she did it off the top rope to whoever she was versing. I didn't really pay that much attention. I don't watch that much NXT, but
I think I might know one who you might say.
Yes.
Ethan Page.
That is my number 5, sir.
Yes.
I think. Well, what was I going to say? Ethan Page has just become the North American champion. He just beat Ricky Saints for the title at NXT. I've actually seen a lot of people going on at Sean saying that he's very good at unpredictable booking, but either way, I still think Ethan Page. I feel like he should have been moved up to the main roster. I don't really think he needs a North American title. Because after Obafemi's very long generational run, I feel like the North American title has just been passed on and on and on. Where I feel, Ethan Page is. I wouldn't say he's getting old. He's probably mid-30s, I think.
Yeah.
And I feel like he should just be moved up because he's been. Working in AEW, everywhere. He's been everywhere. I think he should just have that opportunity now. I think he'd be a very good heel.
Yeah.
Number 4. Well, I've already said this now. We've already talked about her. I said Soul Ruka. I'm only saying that, as I said, her match. I have it up here now with Kalani Jordan. Yeah, Kalani Jordan. I think Soul Ruka, honestly, and first of all, she is the women's North American champion as well. So I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon, which is why I put her a lot lower. But I think just her moveset is just really good. The Soul Snatcher is such a good finisher, especially, as I said, the one off the top rope she did to Kalani Jordan for the win. I think that was, I think she's already I think she's ready for the main roster.
Yeah.
I think she's only been doing this for 2 years or something, but. Just very, very talented, and I
taken to the business pretty well. Yep.
Exactly, kind of like Tiffany Stratton to a degree. She's 26. Even Roxanne, she's 23.
Yeah, and
they're already on the main roster. I think there's definitely some room, maybe in the near future for Soul. Anyway, next we already talked about him. I put Ricky Saints.
Yeah.
Well, he has also just lost his North American Championship to Ethan Page, so I put him a bit higher. Obviously, as well, Ricky Saints was on AEW. He was pretty big there. He, what was I going to say? It was Ricky Starks back and then, but even in AEW he did a lot of good things. The one thing I can remember back to is that thing with Edge. He had a promo with Edge, and I don't know. He just roasted Edge, and he got off on him. And Edge, you could definitely tell in the clip that Edge took it personally. So I think he's very good on the mic. I think he's very charismatic as well, and I think he should just be on the main roster.
Yeah.
He's also best friends with Cody, so I reckon it might even happen a bit quicker. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that should be Ricky Saints.
Yeah.
But number 2 now. These number 2 and number 1 have already kind of been
announced
softly, not officially. I put Jordan Grace number 2. And number 1, I put Stephanie Vaquer.
Yep.
Yeah.
It makes sense too because she's just lost her
Jordan Grace,
championship.
I see a little bit less making sense just because she's new from TNA. She's only been on NXT a couple months.
Yeah.
but I mean, if WWE thinks she's talented enough, I mean, she's obviously already very talented. She's very jacked as well, so she can probably pull off a lot of moves.
She was pretty good in the Rumble this year as well.
Yeah.
Grace. So
yeah, so obviously WWE taking advantage of their, well, not advantage in a bad way, but of their partnership with TNA, taking all their superstars. I reckon Joe Hendry's next, bro. Honestly.
Imagine, man, Joe Hendry to WWE would be amazing.
Even the TNA champion's Trick Williams now,
Yeah,
the TNA World Champion. Like,
I know.
Definitely not taking advantage of the partnership at all.
That one surprised me. A little bit.
So I reckon over time, WWE just going to keep snatching up all these TNA superstars like Joe Hendry. I reckon even Moose at some point. But yeah,
maybe a good trade between Trick Williams and Joe Hendry.
Exactly.
Championship.
Well,
so.
Yeah. So that's why I put Jordan Grace number 2 because it's already been announced. But it makes a little bit less of sense. But either way, and obviously number 1, I said Stephanie Vaquer just because she also lost her NXT Women's Championship on NXT. Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
When we're filming this. Obviously, she's very talented.
Yeah.
You like one of her moves? I forgot what it's. I don't know what it's called because I don't watch NXT enough. But Booker T.
I think we know.
Yeah, Booker T definitely goes quite insane during that. But but either way, she's also been in AEW as well, been all around Mexico or whatever.
Yeah.
Very talented superstar. She's already been on Raw. She already had a match on Raw for
against Io Sky as well.
Yeah, so
Raw after WrestleMania. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's already probably sort of gotten her spot.
She's
on
good
the
enough
roster.
with the best,
Yeah. I think with superstars like her, like they're only going to be in NXT for a little bit before they get transitioned up to the main roster, which is, as I said, what I'm hoping for Ethan Page and Ricky Saints eventually in the future. But
exactly. We thought Ethan Page would be a good one for Seth Rollins' faction. We actually got quite a few views on that one, but not to be.
Yeah, not to be.
We're happy it's Bronson though. Australia's own. As we said,
when Ethan Page comes up to the main roster, I will by all means I will be there. We will be there.
We'll acknowledge him.
Yeah, we will be there.
Yes,
exactly.
Get him on the podcast.
We will acknowledge. Get Ethan Page on the podcast. Yeah,
it'd be amazing.
Exactly.
Perfect heel superstar for the heel turn.
For the heel turn, exactly.
Podcast. It'd be amazing, yeah. Well,
All
thanks
right.
for joining us this week on Heel Turn, episode 8. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us on our various social media platforms. Thank you once again, Fraser.
No worries, mate.
Another good week with you, mate. On the road to 20 episodes. We're
Exactly.
8 down, 12 to go.
Yes, sir.
The big number 20 is what we're aiming for.
Tune in next week for our Money in the Bank predictions.
Yeah. Next week is going to be huge.
We're going to hopefully have good old Jasper back on again.
Yep.
Hopefully I will be present this time, but obviously, as I said, I'm a very busy guy. What can I say?
You've got commitments and everything.
I'm a busy guy. I got meetings to attend. I got flights to catch. What can I say?
Yeah. As well, we got flights to catch as well because we'll be heading to Perth as we've stated already in October.
Some great content coming forward.
A lot of content coming in Perth.
Yes, sir.
So if you're in Australia and you're watching the podcast, if
you're a huge fan, come and say hi. We won't bite. Yes.
Yeah,
we're open for photos.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We'll be doing some content over in Perth as well. So
getting photos with us would be like WWE superstar getting a photo with another one when they're a child, like Indy Hartwell getting on with CM Punk. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or Roxanne getting one with I think it was like one of the Bella twins or something.
Yeah. We're huge. We're huge.
In the future, we will be generational. We will be in that WWE what's it called? Press conference room. Asking questions.
Asking the questions.
Yes, sir.
And then John Cena saying that it was clickbait. But
No clickbait questions for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way.
See you next week.
See ya.